The US President Donald Trump has restated his proposal to resettle Palestinians and take over Gaza as Israel's defence minister tells the military to come up with a strategy to remove Palestinians who want to leave the territory.
I've instructed the IDF to prepare a plan for the voluntary exit of Gaza residents, which would allow any resident of Gaza that would be interested to leave for anywhere in the world that would agree to take them.
That's the Israeli defence minister who's backing the US president's concept for Gaza, describing the proposal as bold. Israel's plan would include exit options for Gazans through land crossings, as well as sea and air departures. Donald Trump's stance has been described as extreme, but is finding significant support in Israel.
Trump just threw out the window 30, 40 years of diplomatic efforts by different US administrations. Sure, these are radical ideas, but these are at least new ideas. And since the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is such an open sore, and since it is something that many people tried to resolve in different ways and failed, these new ideas merit at least hearing and consideration.
The Gaza Strip sits on the eastern edge of the Mediterranean Sea. It's only 41 kilometres long from the north to the south and 13 kilometres at its widest. Before Israel's war with Hamas, it had a population of 2.3 million people. Donald Trump's proposal to turn it into the Riviera of the Middle East has sparked anger across the region. Arab nations are rejecting any attempts to permanently resettle displaced Palestinians from Gaza. The US president has since clarified and committed to his idea, saying the Gaza Strip would be turned over to the US by Israel at the conclusion of fighting after Palestinians had been resettled in, quote, safer and more beautiful communities in the region. Human rights groups maintain his idea goes against international law.
If done with intent, it would be forced displacement. And if that forced displacement was done as part of a systematic and widespread attack against the civilian population as a matter of state policy, it would actually be a crime against humanity. So if the US or Israel were to do this, it would be a dramatic escalation in the forced displacement that Palestinians have already experienced.
Inside Gaza, the misery continues. Despite the latest ceasefire holding, wet and windy weather has set in over the enclave, tearing down tents in makeshift camps for people forced out of their homes by Israel's 15-month bombing campaign. Still, Palestinians are determined to stay.
We are not leaving our land. All of Gaza is Palestinian land.
They want to drive us out because of their greed. They want to get their hands on the Mediterranean coast and the gas fields.
We defend our country, the country we fight for. Our children are anchored here, and we make sure that our men and our brothers stand for here.
While the Israeli Prime Minister continues his visit to Washington, President Trump has signed an executive order imposing sanctions on the International Criminal Court for targeting the United States and its allies, such as Israel. It allows for financial and visa sanctions to be placed on individuals and their family members who assist in ICC investigations into US citizens or allies. The order is designed as a protest against the court's arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu over the Gaza conflict.